We got a problem.
The 9th pick in the 1998 NBA draft, Dirk Nowitzki from Würzburg, Germany. Dirk Nowitzki.
5 seconds, Dirk for three. Yes! Nowitzki against Turkoglu, backs in, falling away, puts it up, banks it in. Puts up a tough shot. That's good. Goes in at the buzzer. On by Dirk. Over by Luka Doncic. He gets the ball. He got it. He got the ball.
Blows by Anderson.
Oh, what a wraparound to Dirk. It's starting to celebrate. Nowitzki up and lays it in. They are the NBA champions for 2010-2011.
It was certainly a great Hall of Fame career for the one and only Dirk Nowitzki. Although he had plenty of reasons to move on from the franchise and play for another title, Dirk stayed loyal to the franchise and played his entire career there. 21 years for one franchise. With how free agency is now, he's probably the last player that will play at least 20 years for one franchise. Nowitzki's departure ushers in a new era of youth and excitement, and the franchise hasn't been this optimistic since their 2011 NBA championship. Last season, the Mavericks only won 33 games, and that would usually be a bad year for most teams, but for the Mavericks, it was somewhat of a success given the roster. But they have the foundation of a future championship contender. Mark Cuban never held on to the dynamic duo of Dirk and Steve Nash. Now he has a new dynamic duo, and I'm sure he will learn from his past mistake. The first part of that duo had to come by the draft. Luka Doncic. He was the youngest player ever to win EuroLeague MVP at the age of 19. He has the skill set, the confidence, and the size to be a superstar. Even though some doubters questioned his game, most people knew he had the goods. Luckily, there were 3 teams that basically passed on his talents, and the Dallas Mavericks took that opportunity and traded for the 3rd pick in the draft and selected the European sensation. It was a season of a retiring icon in Dirk Nowitzki, handing off the baton to hopefully another superstar for years to come. Luka Doncic's rookie year was spectacular, and he was just as good as advertised. He showed plenty of promise from his tight ball handling to his off-balance shots to his sweet passing skills. The Mavericks knew they had to put the ball in his hands and let him go to work. They knew they had to get rid of a young player like Dennis Smith Jr., who also likes to have the ball in his hands. Smith was going to try to prove what kind of player he can be, and that could have impeded the progress of Luka Doncic. So eventually they traded Smith so Doncic can have full control of the offense. Doncic was one of the most exciting players in the league last season. The Rookie of the Year had 8 triple-doubles and set an NBA record for the most triple-doubles as a teenager, not to mention 24 double-doubles. Like most rookie guards, he will need to improve his efficiency. He shot 43% from the field, 33% from 3, and 71% from the free throw line. Before Luka can become truly elite, that must improve. Cutting down on his turnovers would also be a priority. He ranked 9th worst in the league in turnovers. The second part of that duo had to come by trade. The Mavericks capitalized on the Knicks' situation and made a blockbuster trade that shocked the whole league as they traded for the unicorn Kristaps Porzingis, along with Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee. The Mavericks now have their duo for the next 10 years. And we still haven't seen that duo play yet because the Mavericks allowed Porzingis to sit the entire season. The Mavericks were tanking late in the year and wanted to try to keep their pick, but that pick ultimately landed at 10. If it seems that you haven't seen Kristaps play in a while, that's because he hasn't played an NBA game since February 2018. He has had plenty of time to recover from his torn ACL. The 4th overall pick from 2015 signed a 5-year, $158 million contract with the Mavericks this past offseason. It's the biggest contract in the history of the franchise, and that includes Dirk Nowitzki. We all know what KP brings to the table. He's 7'3", who can shoot like a guard, defend the rim like a center, and score against elite defense. His obvious problem is health. The Mavericks are taking a big gamble on KP, who has only played 186 games and a possible 382. but it was a gamble they had to take because they have had the worst luck trying to bring in a big-time free agent to play alongside Dirk since winning the championship in 2011. Head coach Rick Carlisle has had a long leash since winning that championship and has never been on the hot seat. But the team really hasn't done him any favors as they never established a solid young core group for him to coach. The next couple of years will be interesting as there will be more pressure on Carlisle to deliver with the new duo that he hasn't felt in a long time. It's important for the Mavericks to surround Doncic and Porzingis with good complementary players who can accept whatever role the coach needs them to take. Along with drafting Luka Doncic in the first round in 2018, they also added a valuable piece in the second round, the two-time national championship guard Jalen Brunson, who I believe has a chance to be a starter at point guard. He's the type of guy whose play won't jump out at you, but he's solid across the board. He can shoot, pass, defend, and has a high basketball IQ. His game kind of reminds me of Fred VanVleet's, a player who played 3 or 4 years for a great college program and develops into an important piece to a championship team. I can see Brunson as a career backup point guard, and I can also see him as an NBA starter. Maxi Kleber and Dwight Powell has emerged as solid pieces that the Mavericks have committed to for the next 3 or 4 years. In his second season, Kleber took a leap and became a quality rotation player. He serves as a strong interior defender and a stretch four. Kleber improved his three-point shooting from his first season as his percentage went up from 31 to 35 on more attempts per game. There will be plenty of opportunities for wide-open threes, with Porzingis and Doncic drawing all the attention. Dwight Powell is another player that nobody expected to be in the league for that very long. He has continued to be a valuable piece for the team and is in line to be the starting center this upcoming season. Last season he played 77 games, started 22, and averaged a career-high 10 points, 5 rebounds, and 1.5 blocks per game in less than 22 minutes per game. He's been great in the pick and roll and gets a lot of easy buckets. This athletic big man is most known for his hustle and energy, and there was a hint of a possible jump shot in the second half of the season for Powell. His value will only go up if he can knock down threes with consistency. The Mavericks added 2 veteran combo guards in free agency, Seth Curry and DeLon Wright. Curry returns back to Dallas for his second stint. He played for the Mavericks from 2016 to 2018. In one of those years, he missed the entire season. But he's back, and he brings his elite outside shooting. Last season with the Blazers, he shot the lights out as he shot 46% from the field and 45% from 3. Surrounding the dynamic duo with elite shooting is a recipe for success. It will keep defenses from keying in on the 2 European stars. And the Mavericks pulled off a sign-and trade with the Grizzlies and acquired DeLon Wright. Wright has always been a good piece of the young core for the Toronto Raptors, and he has always had the potential to be a starting point guard. He's a versatile tall guard who could be a great complement to Luka Doncic in the backcourt. He's a strong defensive player who has a great feel for the game and can rebound for his position. He has never been a great three-point shooter, but he is a career 33% shooter. The Mavericks have the foundation they need to become a true title contender in the future. With Luka Doncic at 20 years old and KP at 24, this team is set up to make a run for years to come. There's no time for tanking. The Mavericks are ready to compete every night. I have the Mavericks winning 35 games and finishing in 10th place. Although they have a promising duo, I don't believe they are ready to make a run at the playoffs. They will make progress as players learn how to play with a guy like Kristaps Porzingis, and Porzingis himself needs to get used to playing NBA basketball again. The Mavericks will give any team a run for their money, but making the playoffs will have to wait at least till next season. But this season will be very fun and exciting for the Mavericks, and the NBA fans will love watching this team play.